Mark. Yes, the balanced budget amendment is item 1 on my Free America agenda. It really is the only tool we the people have at our disposal to constrain and restrain and tie the hands of our career politicians and compel them to balance the budget. 49 of 50 states have legal requirements to balance their budgets, and look what it does to the governors of those states. Chris Christie in New Jersey, Scott Walker in Wisconsin. It turns them into heroes because they take on the most powerful special interest groups in their states because they have to balance their budgets. And it's the best tool we have. When I worked for Rick Santorum when he was in the United States Senate in 1995 and 1996, and we worked hard on passing the balanced budget amendment and came one vote shy. This time, with a new Congress, with a new Senate, I'm certain that we can get a balanced budget amendment passed. A term limit amendment is item 2 on my Free America agenda. It's critically important. I worked in the United States Senate before. I worked in the very office I'm currently running for. I've been there before, and I see what happens when an individual goes to Washington, D.C. intending to do good. When he gets there, he realizes how good it is for him, and he ends up wanting to do well by himself. And that means he begins to do the bidding of the special interest groups who have the votes and the money to keep him in office. And he loses sight of making the hard votes that are necessary to support in the best interests of the American people. No man or woman is indispensable to our nation. George Washington served 2 terms, and he was done. Ronald Reagan, 2 terms, and they went back into the private sector. This is a democratic republic. We are supposed to govern ourselves. We citizens should be governing ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be governed by a protected political class that invariably does nothing other than protect its privilege and its perk. And that's why we need a term limit amendment.
Go ahead, Sam.
I am 100% pro-life without exception. I believe the right to life is a God-given right, and our government must do everything in its power to protect the right to life of the innocent unborn from the moment of conception all the way through natural death. I will do everything in my power to advance the cause of the right to life in the United States Senate, from a human life amendment to banning taxpayer fundings for abortions, to bringing Ronald Reagan's Mexico City rule back into effect so that we no longer have taxpayer-provided abortions for overseas. And I'll tell you, Senator Casey is not pro-life. Senator Casey voted for Obamacare, which contains abortion funding in the state exchanges. He voted to rescind Ronald Reagan's Mexico City rule, so we have taxpayer fundings for abortions overseas. Senator Casey voted to continue funding for Planned Parenthood, the country's largest abortion provider. Senator Casey endorsed Barack Obama for president in 2008, who had a 100% voting record with the National Abortion Rights Action League. Senator Casey, through his votes in office, has proven that he is not pro-life. Now, I'm a business owner myself, and I travel all over Pennsylvania talking to business owners, and they singularly say that it is Obamacare that has got them so worried and so concerned about the increased costs to their bottom line. And that's a big reason why businesses are not hiring in Pennsylvania and in America. So on day 1, when I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to introduce a bill to repeal Obamacare, lock, stock, and barrel, the whole thing, get rid of it, and allow the free market and the free enterprise system to run the health insurance and the healthcare system in this country. And that's why I want to go to Washington, D.C. I feel called and compelled to re-enter public life, to go to Washington, D.C. and stop that Obama-Casey agenda in its tracks. Roll it back, get rid of it, and restore freedom to America. I mean, are you for freedom? Are you? Well, then vote for me. Are you for liberty? Are you for liberty? Then vote for me. Are you for independence and self-reliance and personal responsibility? If you are, then consider voting for me and help me take our country back and restore freedom to America. Thank you.